Hello there, my name's Andrew, this is Qualified in Noise and Mess, and if you're joining me for the first time, you're very welcome. It's nice to have you along, and hopefully if you enjoy what you see, then your subscription would help me out enormously. Trying to grow the channel, not doing very well, never mind. Right, so what I'm doing today is introducing a new project. This is one I've wanted to do for must be 5 years, but for one reason or another, I've never had a chance to get on with it. If you're not aware, some of my other videos will explain I was diagnosed with a fairly aggressive brain tumour at the end of October 2025, operated on in November, and have been recovering ever since. I'm unable to work, I can't drive. So all those projects that I've been storing up to do around the house, I've now got time for. If only I had the energy. So this is going to take a while. So what the project is, let me show you. So our dining table we got from IKEA in 1988-ish. And some years ago, I made a dining table for a customer as an extension to the island in their kitchen. And if I can find it, I'll put a picture up now. It was made of oak, and I had the tremendous amount of enjoyment making it. And the customer was very happy with it, I believe, still. And I wanted to make one for us because as good as this table is, when you've got 4, 5, 6 people round it, it does take up a lot of space in the dining area of our lounge. So I want to make a longer, thinner one. And I came up with a design, which is this. Now, I don't have SketchUp, I don't have SolidWorks or anything like that. I'm an old-fashioned draftsman. Without any equipment. So, excuse me, what this is the end view. It's known as these legs, you can see they're curved. It's borrowing from the design of English barns that go back to the 13th century, and it's known as a crook leg design, or a crook leg barn, and crook as in crooked. So I thought that would be, I've always had an interest in timber framing. I've never done any. I'd like to, so I'll do it on a smaller scale. And I wanted to do something that was distinctive, interesting, nice to have around, and offers us quite a bit of, you know, variability. So that's the end view. So you've got your two legs with a bottom brace, a couple of stretchers, top brace, and obviously the top. So if we look at the, excuse me, try not to fall over, plan view, if I pull out to where you can actually see it, you can't actually see it. So what it is, very simply, is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plank table with breadboard ends, but with an iron grill in the middle. Let me show you the iron grill. Right, here we have, let me just stand up, you'll see it better. Here we have a couple of heating grills that were salvaged out of a church. I don't know which one. I bought these off Marketplace probably, I don't know, 7 years ago, and they've been in storage ever since, waiting for a time when I could actually do the table. Well, that time's come. Now, as you can see, it's a pierced design. There's a few not so good bits on this. Firstly, we've got a crack there. That's not a problem. We have on both of them the same. That looks like a cutout that enabled this to go round an obstruction. I think there's a couple of cracked webs somewhere. Saw them yesterday. I can't see them now. Never mind. Couple of cracks around and about. That won't affect it. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cut both of them, so that it can fit in the middle of the table in a rebate or a rabbit if you must, and then put a piece of toughened glass over the top. So in a cross section, hang on, let me just deal with my tripod. So in a cross section, you've got the tabletop, you've got a rebate for your toughened glass, which I think will be 6mm, and then a deeper rebate for the iron grill. And that way you've got a nice smooth surface for doing table things. You've also got the decorative element of the cast iron. So what I'm going to do is that dimension has to be, to work with the rest of the design of the table, 13-20mm. Let me get my tape measure. And if I've done this correctly, oh, well, pretty close, give or take. So what I'm going to do is cut both of them so that they are in effect in half, but carefully around the pattern so that when they're pushed together, it looks like a continuous casting. It won't be, of course. You'll be able to get both pieces out. And uniquely for a table design, not a bit of resin is going into this table. The construction is going to be traditional mortise and tenon, and the tenons are going to be fixed with trenels or tree nails. So again, borrowing from the timber framing construction. And then the tabletop will have floating tenons doweled and glued. The breadboard ends will be doweled and glued on the centre board, but it'll be slotted on each other so that the wood can expand. Now, if you weren't aware, wood expands laterally across the grain. So the grain is running this way, and it will tend to expand and contract with seasons, moisture, whatever. And on the previous table I did, you get about 1/8 of an inch either side of lateral expansion. Now, the breadboard ends, this is going to be estate grown oak. It's all going to be oak, apart from the cast iron. The breadboard ends were repurposing a mantel shelf in oak from my father-in-law's house, which has been saved, and that's a piece of his house that's going to come to our house, and that makes me quite happy. And the rest of it, it's estate grown. There's an estate, say not too far, about 35 miles away from here. No, actually it's further than that. Oh, wherever it is, south of here. They grow and mill their own timber and kiln dry it and so on, so I can get exactly what I need. Now, whether I can get curved pieces or pieces with a curved grain, that'll be interesting. We'll see about that. Anyway, the job for today is to cut these down. Let's get to it. Right, so this is my cutting setup. A couple of things to note. This cutter, the switch broke and I can't get another one. So I've made a pedal switch in line with the power. It's not exactly safe, but it's as safe as anything else. And I have no problems with it. The two Black & Decker workmates I've got, this one is slightly lower than that one. So I've just clamped that end down. That's the good side. This is the scrap side. Well, scrap, it's not scrap. So that when I've cutting through, it will just drop slightly and won't jam the disc, which I don't want. And obviously the cut line is on the gap between the two. It's going to be very loud. Now, one thing I've heard, I don't know whether it's true, we'll see, is that, hang on, let me just turn that round a bit, is that when you're cutting cast iron, which of course this is, you get orange sparks. When you're cutting steel, you get yellow sparks. Shall we see if that's true? Right, just one. Well, that was successful. I got a reasonably good cut line. There's a few little webs, so when I do the other one, I can match it up and finesse it and grind bits off until it's just exactly right. So let's get that one now. Oh, that went exactly the same as the other one. Not bad. Now, let me get the other one and put it up again. So we've got, I'm sure that piece can be used for something. Not entirely sure what yet. It'll let me know. So we'll get this piece, and we'll butt it up, well, as best we can, bearing in mind it's at a different height, and see where that gets. So let me get you square on so you, oh dear, I really must get a better tripod. This isn't really very good. There we go, let's get you square on, workmates permitting. That's close enough, I think. Right, okay, put my hat on because it's cold. Right, okay, so as you can see here, it's not exactly parallel. We've got a high spot. Oh, it's on the bottom one, the other one, the one I've just done. Right, so you can see what I need to do is cut one or other of these nodules off, and then cut a line probably in line with that, so that when it's pushed together it looks as close to being a continuous pattern as possible. It's a bit faffy, but I think it'll be worth it. But I'm not going to do that now because I am cold. It's a cold day here, and I need to go inside. I also need to sit down for a bit. But what I am going to do is get a wire brush wheel on this, go over the surface both sides, and then I've got a little wire brush sort of finger that I can put down the insides of these. And I think the finish for this is going to be clear wax, just to bring the patina up. I mean, I could get it sandblasted, but it'd ruin it. It'd look new, and that's not the point. It's not new. I don't want it to look new. I want this is Victorian, almost certainly. I want it to look Victorian, but look like looked after Victorian, if you will. And if I'll just go and get my tape measure, and that should be 1320 millimeters plus, it's going to be about 1330. I don't need to do that. So there we go. That's as far as I'm taking this now. So the next stage will be buying timber, I think. That'll be expensive. Right, well, I'll catch you then. Thanks for watching.